Hey friends, Tosca Reno here. Yes, it truly is me. I am coming to you with all my PPE stuff on as I'm doing some grocery shopping. I promised you that I would be doing this. And it is always a different experience when you're showing up, having to shop and watch and follow the lines and all the rest of it. So I'm wearing my mask simply because I want to show other people that I'm following the rules out in public. So I'm at Rock Garden Farms and I'm super excited to be here because sometimes I actually get happy about this place. And I'm just gonna, let's see, yeah, I can flip the camera. So look at the lovely view here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some vegetable starts because I am putting my own garden in and I'm really excited to see some of these things. And then I'm going to companion plant with marigolds. So I'm happy about that. But you're here to see what kinds of things I'm going to be shopping for to put in my pantry and to maybe help you make some decisions about what to eat during this time. So it's Tosca Reno here, and I'd love for you to weigh in on where you're listening from, how you're doing, give me a little sense of what's happening in your life, and yeah, let's see if we can do this. Now the first thing I see, look at this, is seeds. Now this was jammed, absolutely jammed with product before. I'm gonna get some chard because chard is a wonderful green that I can put in the ground and eat long into the season. So I've already got a lot of seeds, but this is something I'm gonna add. All right, so here we go. Let's flip the camera around again. And okay, there's lots of pretty flowers. So fun. I love seeing all this stuff as I go in. Here we go. And I'm gonna keep chatting. We're gonna go in more. And hi. All right, so I'm saying hello to my friends. It smells really good in here. One of the things that I spend a lot of time doing is preparing a lot of my own ingredients, and so I use a lot of nuts for that. So over here you can see there's a selection. There's cranberries. No, those are raisins, I think. No, cranberries. Slivered almonds. There's a granola mix. Cashews. I always get raw unsalted. And I'll put those in my bin. And also raw unsalted almonds. Great source of protein and fats, but raw unsalted. And there's some really good breads here. There's California, look at this, California walnut. I'm gonna do that, okay? And then the question about sweeteners is always a strong one. So we have local maple syrup providers here, maple syrup. So that would be a vegan sweet alternative. I like to get the glass because I feel like the glass doesn't contact the plastic. So this is why I always end up, hi. Good, how are you? I'm gonna get some honey as well. So there's a lot of different local honey providers here. I know honey isn't a vegan option, but the honey itself is, if you're not worried about that and you're a vegetarian or you just like a sweet alternative, honey is awesome. So honey should always be slightly opaque. It shouldn't be clear. The opaqueness is important because it shows that you're using honey that has all the good stuff in it. Okay, noticing this is interesting. Lots of people are baking bread. So there's instant yeast here. If you're into baking, you can either make a sourdough or you can use yeast like that. Sourdough is an experience, let me tell you, okay? Okay, a lot of you are asking about quinoa, and it doesn't matter what color the seeds are. Okay, the seeds are basically the seed of a plant, and to eat this properly you need to rinse it really, really well, and that's how you can eat it. Now some people still get a tummy ache. Listen, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Don't eat it. Like, that's just your body saying, hey, that's a no-go. All right, lots of, look at this, I love this, a GMO-free pasta, right? And it's made with mushrooms, porcini mushrooms. So I love a nice firm pasta, and I often try to find a vegetable-based one. Here's an option. I'll flip the camera around. There's a chickpea pasta here, which is awesome. There's more chickpea pasta. There's another one here. Chickpea and turmeric. Wow, how good would that be? And then once before, I got a really good green kale pasta here, which was actually surprisingly better than I thought. Okay, so I'm gonna pop down. Oh, if you ever get a craving for something salty, you gotta love sun-dried tomatoes, olives. They're really good and fatty, and they satisfy that craving for having something salty but fatty that sometimes you just need. And it's also a really good hit of what am I going to say? Sort of a nice little hit of tonic for your kidneys, right? It's a really good tonic for your kidneys. Now, you also have here apple cider vinegar. I buy this like just tons and tons and tons. And why I buy it is because, I'll switch the camera around. Why I buy that is because I love having the apple cider vinegar just for my salads, for my dressings, but also because it's actually an antiseptic. You can use it to clean your kitchen counters and your vegetables. So that's what I'll be doing when I come home. Okay, let's have a look over here in the dairy section. Now I need to get some eggs. The eggs are amazing. Look, free run eggs, so you can get white ones, organic, right? Look at these lovely brown eggs. So I'm gonna grab some eggs, and what we're seeing these days is things like this, where you can only get 2 dozen. And you know, I'm gonna respect that because I know that it's difficult and everybody needs to get their share of eggs. The other thing that I like to get are things like the old cheese, which is really nice. So my mom's with me, and once in a while with a glass of wine, we're gonna have a little bit of cheese. Not gonna complain about that, right? And I also very much like this Collier's. Essentially, the harder and the darker the cheese, the better for you. Now we're gonna go into the dairy, and I love, look at this great option here. You can get full fat, beautiful local dairy, which I pick up and really enjoy. I don't eat a lot of dairy, but that milk is really good. And then we can get plain yogurt here. So my mom is also from the same supplier as the milk. Whoops, I just knocked the sign down. There we go. So my mother is a big fan of yogurt, and she's with me at the moment. All right, so the great thing also is that there are lots of fruits and vegetables here. I'm gonna turn around, grab some bananas. Hi. So yeah, there we go. Again, my mother being a little bit older person, she does require softer foods, and bananas are definitely one of those. I'm gonna grab a few lemons. So I feel like they come in handy for just about everything. I know you all know how to do this, but the fun stuff is knowing that you have this available. Look at these beautiful berries. There's just tons, but let's go over to the greens. Let's just go over to the greens because, oh wait. Now look, isn't this pretty? Look at this. Look at how beautiful these flowers are. A little happy color would go a long way, wouldn't it? So I think I'll just pick some of those up. Pretty soon it's going to be Mother's Day. No, I can't eat these, but they make me happy. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to wander over here to the vegetable section, and let's see what's going on here. One thing I'm a big fan of is having what's called the Holy Grail. So that would be carrots. So always have carrots, onions, and celery. Celery's over there, I know that, but I always have a ton of these. I'm gonna grab some more onions because I'm really working on my immune system with the onions. Not so much the potatoes. Squash. Well, you know I'm a big fan of squash, so I always have And I'm going to look for a couple of little ones because it's just my mom and I. So I'm going to look for, I mean, look at the size of that. We'll never be able to eat that. But I have a couple of little ones on hand because I find those are easier. That's me dropping them in the cart to manage. And I do love a butternut squash because there's so much more flesh in this than another squash. However, all squashes are good. There's some lovely fresh broccoli right here. So, and broccoli keeps pretty well. You know, you don't want to have it in the fridge forever and ever. But, and you know what I'm doing? I'm making a little sin here. I shouldn't be touching everything like that. Also, this is amazing, Rapini. Look at that beautiful stuff. The bitterness tells you that it is good for you. So I'm going to get some Rapini. My mom, and turn this around, I eat Rapini, but I'm noticing I have a lot of fuzzy hair. Oh my God, I need a hairdresser so bad. But I love Rapini, but it's new from my mother, so we're teaching her how to eat that. All right, so I do want to get some. So this is cool. Well, where are the yams? Oh, here. There's a couple of yams here. So there's a difference between yams. See, that's yam. The flesh is white. It's very starchy. And sweet potato. Sweet potato has orangey flesh and it's more watery. Both are nutritious, but these are good. Like, throw a couple of sweet potatoes. They sort of keep a lot like a squash, so you can throw that in. Oh, so let's have a conversation about some lettuce. Here we go. Look at this beautiful display of lettuce. So you see we've got a red leaf lettuce here. I put my finger on it, so now I have to buy it. But the red leaf, right, is an indication. This particular lettuce has a higher ORAC rating than a green and even higher than kale. So what does that mean, ORAC rating? It means that there's a higher antioxidant score, so you're getting a lot more nutrients with the red leaf lettuce. So I'll put that in a bag in a minute. I love other lettuces too. Oh, here's that other part of the Holy Grail. So again, it's the carrots, the celery, and the onions. And basically that's your foundation for making stocks. So I always have that on hand. I love little green onions. Until I can plant my own, I'm going to be buying some. But I can share something interesting with you. I just made a mess. I'll be washing all this anyway. See these roots? When I cut these off, what I can do is I can plant those roots or set them in water and they'll be able to grow, and I can self-start all of that and just chuck it in the ground. How fantastic is that? And I want to let you in on a little secret. Look at this pile of garlic over here, right? So when they don't cut off the roots, the garlic is better for you. It's healthier because it's an indication that this garlic doesn't come from China. However, what I did the other day was I found one in my cupboard that had a whole bunch of sprouts coming off the top. And I actually just took those and chucked them in the garden. And so I can grow my own garlic right from that. Isn't that great? So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to have the option to grow my own. So I'm going to actually grab a purple onion because sometimes in a pilaf or a salad I like to have the purple onion, which is fun. Okay, and I'm not overbuying. I'm just buying enough for what I need. There's quite a lot of different lettuces here. This is a treat that I really, really like. I'm not going to get it right now. It's a bit pricey, $6.95. But I like to do this recipe for my, what's that recipe? Oh, I love it so much in the summertime. Potatoes and green beans and lettuces. I totally slipped my mind. Okay, is there something called COVID brain? I don't know. I can't remember. But it's my favorite recipe, and I can't even get it in my head right now. Okay, let me just have a little look-see at the herbs. Get some herbs in your house, okay? You've got flat leaf parsley right here. So I'm gonna grab that because my flat leaf parsley, when I'm, here we go, like this, when I'll chop it into like a brown rice pilaf, but I will also throw it like this into a salad. I'll just throw handfuls into a green salad. Hi, Ruth Ann. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Dominic from Germany. Hey, Sherry. And so the thing with this is once you're done and you think, oh, I'm just going to chuck these out and put those in the compost, that goes in your soup stock. So when you're making bone broth, you're still getting the nutrients out of these stems. There's as much nutrition in there as in the leaves. So that's going in. And plus the other thing about parsley is that it's really good for cleaning your pineal gland, which means that it gives you a greater sort of cognition, a greater sense of self in the present moment. And I think that's really important. Now, I'm not going to get chives. Chives are right here because chives are growing all over my garden already. And I've planted a bunch of sage. But rosemary, now this is not very happy looking rosemary, but it's going to be dried anyway. So rosemary has an incredible wellness benefit also. If you smell it closely, the pungency of it tells you how important it is to have these strong tasting herbs in your diet because they confer immunity to you. Okay, so I'm going to take some of that. I'm getting sort of a funny hi there. Oh, and I want to look at this. Look at this basil. This is incredible. Fresh bunches of basil. Who gets that in the middle of, like, it's not even properly spring yet? And local. Sorry, you're live on my Facebook. My audience loves this. But look at these gorgeous, gorgeous asparagus. I'm going to just wreck your display and take these. Oh my gosh, they're so good. It's such a spring vegetable, right? Okay, we're going to have a little look. Look at all this stuff here. I mean, it's impossible not to eat well when you're shopping here. But these are just the things that you can put in your house to stock up with, right? So we've got some lovely tomatoes. I do like the firm tomatoes because they can ripen on your counter. Never put them in the refrigerator. Always keep them just fresh like this. And they'll ripen as time goes on and enhance the flavor. So I'll put a couple of those in. And just newsflash, I made an incredible new soup recipe. Sometimes you wonder what to do with zucchini. Well, I had a bunch of spinach, fresh spinach, that was kind of like, it wasn't looking that good anymore. And I made a brand new recipe, and I also used some zucchini in it. So we're going to do that again. I won't buy it right now because I just did that recipe. But look at all these peppers, right? Look at this. I mean, doesn't that just make you happy looking at them? So, and these are, I'm happy to say, an Ontario hothouse pepper. That means that they're coming from local suppliers, which is awesome. So I am going to grab a beautiful red, gorgeous red pepper. Don't worry, I'm going to wash everything. And I am going to grab a nice, see, I'm going to get the dark green one. The darker green, the better pepper. And I think that's good. I think that's good. They also make an incredible sauce here. So look at this, right? You can have mushroom spaghetti sauce, and you can have just plain, but this one's hot and spicy. I'm not going to do that right now because I have sauce at home, so I'm good. But I will just grab some some Cremini mushrooms, because these are also really amazing for your immune system. So when we eat these, we're really giving ourselves a good boost of nutrients to support the immune system. Notice I'm saying the word support. And then, okay, we're just going to walk right past that. Close your eyes. But it is nice if you want a treat. Look at all that gorgeous stuff. So this is kind of the deal, right? I found this local grocer. They work really hard to keep their supplies. I mean, look at the place, looks really good, right? They keep their supplies as local as possible, so when things are in season, you can have it here. And they provide it fresh, so there's no question you're getting nutrients like crazy. And so if you can shop locally, chances are your prices are going to be a little bit cheaper, and you also support a local business, and they're working really hard. You can see, I'm going to flip this so you can see the cashier has her screen in place, and everybody's staying away from each other. It's a little bit sad, I have to say that. It's really hard to shop like this in a place where it's always been easy to connect with people and, laugh and even hug. Can't do that right now, but still, I'm very proud of Canadians and what these particular grocers are doing to keep us healthy. So I just want to wish you absolutely the best. If you're listening on the replay, please hit replay. If there's something more you'd like to learn about within this particular little session, text me the questions. I love your comments. Really, to me, the only way I can serve you is when I understand what it is you need. And every time I do one of these, I learn something from one of you, and I just love my audience so much. We're listening from all over the world, the Solomon Islands, Holland, Finland, Canada, the United States. And so I bless you, and this is, we teach each other. Let's keep this community strong. Let's keep each other going in the right direction, because I don't want you to become a vulnerable population. I want your wellness to be robust and strong. If you're looking for resources to keep yourself strong when I'm not in front of your face, you can go to Tosca at Home on my Tosca Reno website page, and I have tons of beautiful programs for you, free resources as well as some paid ones, and we will keep you safe. And somebody's asking, okay, so there was a question here about the potatoes. What's interesting is when your potatoes are, well, let's go have a look at some potatoes, okay? We're not finished the conversation. I have to wait in line anyway. Waiting is part of the deal today. But you can keep potatoes fresh by keeping them in the dark. Oh gosh, I'm so glad I came back. Look at these leeks. I planted leeks, but I have to put these in my garden. I have to really take these with me too, and I'm gonna also grow those roots. But okay, the potato question. See, I get distracted. Keep your potatoes fresh by not buying too many. I always feel like dirty potatoes are good. Like you don't want to scrub them too clean. And also, if you do have a starchy potato, it's fantastic, because honestly, a starchy potato makes the best leek and potato soup, right? So you can use the potato as a binding or a creamy agent when you're baking, and that's kind of the way I do it. And by the way, I don't think they have any here, but if your potato does happen to have an eye, yeah, they don't have any here, but if it's sprouting a little eye, just cut like a good chunk of it with the eye and put it in the garden, and you will grow your own potatoes. I did that this week. I had 12 volunteers. My potatoes were sprouting little eyes, and I'm like, you're going in the garden. So what are my cooking recipes to appeal now? Oh my gosh, all of the things that I'm cooking right now are just to really, really double up on my immune system, which is why I put the mushrooms, the Cremini mushrooms in, and why I'm using a lot of things like onions and stinky vegetables. I got the broccoli here. All of this stuff is so good for your immune system. And the more that we can help our immune system, I mean, we have one, right? We have one, but we have to help it. And that's the other reason why I'm doing the rosemary. But get this, asparagus. Asparagus is a critical source of an amino acid called glutamic acid or glutamine, and it is the leading detoxifier in your body. So once you have this in your system, you're helping all kinds of other things work better. Now notice what's not in the cart. A lot of sugary, crappy, processed, refined things. That's never gonna happen here. Okay guys, I'm gonna check out. It's time. And I want to wish you an incredible rest of day. This is Tosca Behind the Mask, Tosca Reno, coming to you from Caledon, Ontario. And I'm so glad for your time. Thank you for sharing with me. And the best thing you can do is keep yourself safe. Do the things you got to do, whether it's gloves, whether it's masks, whether it's staying at home, whether it's distancing. I know you'll be good, and we'll stay good together. Remember, my passion is your wellness. Go ahead and check it all out on toscareno.com, Tosca at Home. Love you all. Take care.